Thank you so much for your interest in sharing your story with me in an interview about your childhood in Taiwan. I am asking you for your permission to share an audio recording of this interview with UCSB's Center for Taiwan Studies just to add to an open access online library of childhood memories. The goal of the online archive is not to describe some kind of typical childhood in Taiwan, but rather to collect a range of how different generations and people remember their years as children in Taiwan. If you choose to be a part of the archive, I will audio record our interview. The interview will last about 45 minutes, and you can skip questions that you do not wish to answer or stop the interview at any time. I will only share your identity with your permission and use a pseudonym otherwise. If you have questions about the project for the Center of Taiwan Studies, you may contact my professor, Dr. Silkworth, or the Center's director, Dr. Sabine Frühstück. Do you allow me to record the interview and share it with the Center of Taiwan Studies?
Yes.
Okay, all right, then let's get started. First question, what year were you born?
2002.
2002. Were you born in Taiwan?
No, I was born in New York.
Okay. At what age did you come to Taiwan and with whom?
When I was 5 or 6, I moved to Taiwan with my parents and my 2 sisters.
Oh, okay. And what is the earliest memory you have of your childhood?
In Taiwan or in New York?
Well,
or either.
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay. Earliest memory of my childhood is living in New York in a really tall apartment, and I remember it was really cold in New York. And the earliest memory I had living in Taiwan was visiting my grandparents and eating with them, and like learning Chinese, like how to read and stuff and write.
Oh, what kind of food did you guys eat?
We had fish.
Fish?
Steamed fish.
What was your favorite food that you had from Taiwan?
My favorite food. Wow, this is hard. I feel like it doesn't really count as food. It's a drink, but I really like boba.
Boba? Okay,
It's the best.
All right. That's really good. Next question. And what kind of neighborhood did you grow up?
I lived in Taichung, and it's like the city in the middle of Taiwan. And in my neighborhood, it was kind of like a city. It was kind of crowded. We have tall buildings, but they're not as tall as New York or Taipei. So just kind of short buildings. I remember our neighborhood was like really crowded. There were a lot of apartments, a lot of people, a lot of motorcycles because there wasn't a lot of space for parking. For cars.
For bigger cars, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what kind of values did your parents instill in you?
They really valued honesty and working hard, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Childhood values, they stick with you.
Yeah, and also they really value like education and learning things.
Yeah. Did you go to school in Taiwan?
Yes, I went to school in Taiwan when I moved there when I was 5 until I turned like 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a good amount.
Long time.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of conversations did you have around the dinner table?
What kind of conversations? We talked about like what I did at school, what's happening like around us, like maybe there was I don't know, a new president or something, or like an earthquake, I don't know, just like news. And like we talked about like when we should go see our grandparents, like when they're coming, what food like is like the best, like because my mom would cook and then she would be like, what do you think about this? And then we would like tell her how we thought of the food.
Yeah, what you guys thought about the food. Was there any earthquakes?
It was like really good
while you were there?
What?
Was there any earthquakes while you were there?
Earthquakes, yeah.
What? How was that?
there were like a couple like there's actually a lot of like little earthquakes. Nothing like dangerous, but we did have a couple really big ones.
Yeah.
And it was scary. We did have like drills, like earthquake drills at school to
prepare you.
practice.
Yeah, to prepare you for
like fire drills.
Yeah. What language did you speak at home?
I spoke Mandarin Chinese at home, and sometimes I would speak English with my sisters.
Okay, yeah, so like 2-3 languages at home?
Oh, yeah, and also my grandparents and my parents would speak in Taiwanese, and that's
okay.
like another dialect.
Oh.
But I can understand it, but I'm not very good at like speaking it.
So in total, how many languages do you speak and then understand?
Do I speak and understand? I would say English and Chinese. I'm fluent in English and Chinese.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Nice too. All right. What was your? Well, you did say it's not food, but you really like boba. Because the question is, what was your food and who prepared it for you usually?
Oh, usually.
Yeah.
We always had rice. We always had rice in the rice cooker. I really liked minced pork and rice, and there's just so much. Like, I don't know what to start with. But
so many good foods.
We just always have rice.
Yeah.
Or noodles. There's always veggies. We had cabbage a lot for some reason.
Would your mom cook all of this? Did you guys ever?
Yes.
You have a sister, right?
Yes.
Did you guys ever help? Or?
We tried to help, but mostly it's my mom cooking.
Yeah. Okay.
Or sometimes both of my grandmas would cook something and they would bring it over to my house.
Oh, okay.
Eat it. Yeah, they would make like I don't know how to say this in English. It's like chicken with like this is some sort of chicken soup with they put like alcohol in it, but the alcohol gets cooked off. It's just really good.
It's just really good. Some really good chicken soup.
Like fish, crabs. What else do we eat? Just everything.
Everything. That's
a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff. Yeah,
it.
Cooked by your mom. Yeah, I mean, everything's different. The food from here, definitely, it's different than what we have back home. What did your family do for a living?
What did my family do? My dad is a doctor, so he's like a gynecologist, and my mom is an English teacher, and should I talk my grandparents too?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, so on my mom's side, her parents are both teachers, so yeah, and then my dad's side, his mom was like a housewife, and his dad was like a factory. He had a factory for flour.
Flour, okay.
Yeah.
What about with your dad's a doctor and your mom's a teacher? Does that in any way like inspire what you want to be?
Inspire, I think partially because my dad really wants me to be a doctor, but I want to be a vet.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's like kind of similar, sciencey kind of ways. And my younger sister, she's interested in English, and my older sister's interested in psychology.
Oh yeah, so that's a good
balance.
Yeah, a good balance.
But my dad wants all of us to be doctors.
Yeah, all three of you guys to be doctors. And your mom, is she?
My mom, I think.
Whatever you guys want.
Yeah, she just wants us to have a job that we can like be independent.
Yeah.
But I don't think she wants us all to be doctors. Yeah.
Okay. What was your relationship with your mother and father like?
My relationship with my mom. She took care of me and my sisters most of the time. I would say like it's a pretty like normal relationship. I mean, there's conflict like any relationship. And I feel like with my dad, it was not as close with my dad because he worked a lot. But yeah, we still like hang out and do stuff. Like he really likes hiking and like doing like golf stuff, so I do that with him. And then with my mom, she likes watching movies, like to the theater or like shows, and then I go do that with her.
Yeah. In Taiwan, was there like a certain family activity you guys really enjoyed doing?
Certain family activity, like for holidays or.
I don't know, your usual weekend, something.
Oh, usual weekend. We would always go hiking. I did not like it very much, but every Sunday after we were done hiking, we would go to this restaurant in the mountains, and they would have like really good like boiled chicken and like soup, fish, rice, like veggies, tofu, like a bunch of really good food, and that was my favorite part.
That was your favorite part of the hike?
But I hated hiking.
You hated hiking, but that restaurant made up for everything.
The only good part of hiking was I got to bring my dog, and
Oh, okay. Did you have any other pets apart from your dog in Taiwan?
I used to have a rabbit.
A rabbit?
And my dad used to have a parrot.
Oh, nice.
And now we have 2 dogs at home.
Now you have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Did the parrot, was it one of those like
It was
talking?
an African gray. So, he would talk.
Oh, that's so cool.
He could speak in English and Chinese.
Oh, that's so cool. That's amazing. Yeah, those are really cool. My cousin used to have one. They're cool.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. The question is, do you have siblings? But you did mention you have 2 sisters. So,
yes.
What role did they play in your life growing up?
What role? So my older sister is 5 years older than me, and my younger sister is like a year and a half younger than me. So my older sister was kind of like a third parent.
Mm-hmm.
She would take care of us a lot of the time when my mom's busy. And she was kind of like a role model. And my younger sister was kind of like my playmate, I guess. But we would fight a lot. But we would be like really close and like do everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Did they also went to school in Taiwan, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of education did you get in Taiwan, and where?
So I stayed in Taichung most of the time, and so it's kind of complicated, but kindergarten, I went to a Catholic kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And elementary school was also Catholic.
Okay.
But it was bilingual, so we would learn English and Chinese and like everything else.
Yeah.
And then middle school was also bilingual, but not Catholic. And I did go to like an international school for like 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
3 years. I think 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. Yeah.
So how long were you in school in Taiwan for? Like, you did say you were there from 5 to 11. No.
When I was 5 to age 14. Yeah.
So you were in school.
Kindergarten, elementary school, and middle school.
And middle school.
Yeah.
And then sounds good. And next question. What was a normal day like for you at the age of 10 or 15? You were in Taiwan at this age, right?
Okay,
10, 15.
so typical day, like both 10 and 15?
Just 10.
Just 10?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was 10, I was in 8th grade. Wait, no, not 8th grade, 5th grade. I don't know why I said 8th grade. No.
5th grade.
At 10, I was in 5th grade. A typical day, so like a school day, I would wake up at like, I think 7, and then I would take the bus to school. We would have like English, math, Chinese, science classes, social studies classes. We also had like, I think art class like every week, and PE class. I think sometimes we had music class. And I would like hang out with my friends during recess, eat lunch there, and then I would go home at like 4, and then I would eat dinner, watch some TV, talk to my sisters, my parents, and then what else did I do? Sometimes we had ballet class. I had like ballet class for a bit, or sometimes we would take piano classes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Did you learn to play any instruments?
Just piano. I I think we tried to learn violin, but I didn't like it.
You didn't like violin?
I learned piano for like a couple years, and I had art class sometimes, like on the weekend. Yeah, that was. I would say I had a lot of things to do.
So you would be in school from like 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So when I was in like elementary school, it would be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I transferred to the international school in 5th grade, it was 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So I got out of school like
earlier. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
It's like the American system. Yeah.
Did you always stay in those? Did you ever switch schools?
Yeah, I switched schools in 5th grade, so to the international school, and then I switched again to a middle school for 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah. Were any of those your educational years in Taiwan? Were any of those schools your favorite? That you enjoyed your experience there the most?
I think all of them had their like pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the international school because it was a lot more relaxed, and I got to like have fun instead of doing work all the time, which is like a lot of traditional Taiwanese schools are like that. Like they start the kids really young and they make them study a lot, and I just didn't really like that. And I feel like middle school I had a lot of fun because there were more people in the middle school than my international school, so I got to meet like more people and make more friends.
Yeah. And then there's like that balance where you get to do the fun stuff and the educational stuff. Yeah, that's always good. So moving on to another question. What were some of your favorite places to be as a child?
My favorite places were the mall, because we would always like watch a movie there, or like there's this mall with like bowling, and we go bowling. That same mall actually had an ice skating rink, and we would go ice skate. Another place would be I don't know, like the park near my house.
Mm-hmm.
So I would bring my dog there, and that park actually had like a mini pond lake kind of thing, and people would row boats there.
Oh, that's nice.
And we would go rowing. Yeah.
Did you ever go rowing? Yourself and your family?
Yeah, we would row, and then I would put my dog in the boat too.
Oh, that's nice. That's adorable.
But one time he jumped off and started like swimming to chase the ducks.
The ducks?
Yeah.
And what, did you jump in after him, or?
I just pulled him out of the water.
Pulled him out of the water.
It was funny.
So the mall, bowling, and the park. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you tell me a little about your friends? What did you play with them? How much time did you spend with them?
Okay. So in elementary school and like middle school, I would hang out with my friends, at class and like during recess. And the different thing about Taiwanese schools is you're like part of one class and you stay there for the whole day, unless there's like special classes like art, or like you have to go to
Sorry. It's okay.
like a music class or like art class. Most of the time, like English, math, Chinese, all of the classes were in one classroom. So I got to be like really close with people in that class.
Mm-hmm.
We would hang out like during the weekend sometimes. Like we would go to the mall, and there would be like an arcade, or we would go watch a movie, or we would go try out like a new cafe or something, like dessert.
Yeah, that's nice. Do you still keep in touch with any of these friends?
I only keep in touch with like one or two friends from middle school. And elementary school, like I still follow them on social media, but I don't really like talk to them that much.
You haven't seen them in a while?
Yeah.
Okay. What is one of your favorite memories while growing up in Taiwan?
One of my favorite memories. I would say hanging out with my friends.
Hanging out with your friends?
Like trying new things. I remember like every weekend we would do something fun. Most of the time we would just go to like each other's houses and just hang out. But I really had a lot of fun when we went to those like escape rooms, or like we went to the arcade, or we went biking or something.
What's it called? What was your favorite holiday to celebrate?
Favorite holiday?
And who would you typically spend it? Your friends, family, both?
My favorite holiday? Oh, I can't choose. Probably New Year's. Chinese New Year's Eve. We would have like family members, like grandparents, like my aunts, my cousins, my uncles, like everyone would come to our house, and we would have like hot pot, we would have barbecue, and like we would have fireworks, and then on the TV we would have like there's like this show that goes on during the New Year, and I would get red envelopes, which is like money for New Year. And I would get like candy from my grandparents. Basically, you get spoiled, yeah.
New Year's.
Yeah, and then take pictures. And when I was younger, it would just be me and my family. But when I got older, I would invite like a friend or two to like and their family to celebrate New Year's with us.
Okay, yeah. So it would get more people.
Yeah.
More fun. Okay. Can you describe a particularly worrisome or challenging experience from your childhood?
Challenging. Yeah, it was when I moved from New York to Taiwan when I was 5, and it was really hard to learn Chinese. Like, even though I could speak in Chinese and I could understand it, I wasn't like to the level of like my peers at that time. So I had to catch up learning Chinese, like how to read and like learning how to write. And it was really hard because the school I went to was like all Chinese. We barely had any English. So it took me a while to catch up with like people in my class. And also like with math, I felt like I was kind of behind. But,
so when you continue. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, so when you came to Taiwan, when you got to Taiwan, you only knew how to speak English?
I knew how to speak English and Chinese.
Okay.
Because when I was in New York, I learned English at school, but then at home I would learn Chinese. And when I moved to Taiwan, it was kind of like the opposite. So
yeah, you had to learn the whole language there, right?
Yeah, like I had to learn the whole like Chinese alphabet kind of thing, and a lot of the things that they learned I haven't learned yet because I was in New York.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was like the challenging part, getting used to also the weather. It was really hot there.
The weather? It was really hot?
Yeah, and getting used to the weather.
You were saying in New York it's a lot colder.
Yeah, it was really hard getting used to the hot weather. There were a lot of like cultural things that I didn't understand until like I lived there for a couple years. But the challenging part was just like the academics and like getting used to being in Taiwan.
Yeah, it's definitely always hard moving somewhere where you don't know how to speak the language.
Yeah.
But
I slowly got like better at it.
Yeah, definitely. With practice, everything is better. Okay. When you grew up, what kind of life and profession did you imagine having as a grown-up? For example, what was your dream job, your ideal of family or house?
I actually had a lot of dream jobs. I think I just watched a lot of movies, so I really wanted to be like an actress or like a singer, a dancer. But then I realized that I'm actually like really shy on stage. I get like stage fright, so I get like really nervous on stage.
So an actress was no longer.
So I gave up on that. There was like one point, I think I was just really like influenced by movies because I watched so many movies, and I was like, maybe I should be like police. But then I realized that like I'm scared of a lot of things, so I just couldn't do that. And then I like realized how much I love animals because I just like love my dog and like I grew up with animals and like the rabbit and the parrot and stuff. And I was like, I have to do a job like with animals. So then I just knew I wanted to be a vet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. And your ideal of family or house?
Ideal family and house. I think I actually like. I remember like when I went home last year for the pandemic, I found my diary and I actually wrote like, yeah, I want a husband. I want like a big house. I also want a vacation house, and I didn't really say like where I was gonna live, but I just wanted a big house.
You just wanted a big house.
And I want like 2 kids, and it had to be 1 boy and 1 girl. But I didn't know how it worked back then. But yeah, that was my like
your dream
like,
your ideal family and house. Oh, that's nice. Now went from actress and police, and now that's really good. In sum, what kind of feelings and words come to mind when you remember your childhood in Taiwan?
What kind of words and feelings?
Like when you remember Taiwan, what do you?
I guess it would be like nostalgic, bittersweet, like wholesome, I guess. What other feelings? I would say maybe like a little sadness because I miss being a kid.
Yeah, for sure. When was the last time you were in Taiwan? Have you been recently?
Yeah, the last time I was in Taiwan was last summer, and I was actually there for since the end of my senior year to like the entire freshman year of college because of the pandemic.
Oh, so you took your first year in Taiwan?
Yeah, it was online, and it was really, really hard because of the time difference.
Yeah.
So I would take classes at like 11 or like 12 at night.
Oh.
Yeah.
How what's the time difference? How many hours?
From like Pacific time, I think it's like 15 hours ahead.
Oh.
15 to 16 hours ahead if there's like daylight savings.
Yeah. So you took your first year in Taiwan and now your second year at Santa Barbara.
It's really weird.
It's a big difference.
But I really like being in campus at Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice place to be. Better than online from home.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Lastly, if you could tell your 10-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
If I could tell my 10-year-old self, I would say to just relax more.
Relax.
Have fun, and I would say like maybe speak up and stand up for yourself more. And relax.
Relax. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds definitely speak up. A lot of people, they have they don't, and then later in the future they just wish they would have.
Yeah, I was pretty shy when I was 10. So
okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, and this was I really enjoyed this interview, and
you're welcome.
I'm glad we did this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.